Okay. So let's see here. So here you have this plenty of options, right? So this is kind of this HPLM. So if you need access for this HPLM, you need to request to Tagore, okay? So you how everyone has its email ID, right? Tagore@gmail.com. So you want to request an access if you want to use this tool, okay? So, but from my point of sight, right? Use it only if you require. Okay, just try to understand it. It's really not, it's really not, it's important to know each and everything in this tool. Okay, this tool slowly will get outdated because new tools keep coming. Agile, we move to Agile. A different test management tool, okay, they use the different things, a lot of things. Okay, so it's really, this gets substituted at one point of time. So use it only to understand it and how you want to make use of it, but just don't go into the detail. Okay, just don't go too much into detail to this tool because you might use it. I'm not saying that you may not. You might use it in your workplace. You might get used to it, but okay, you can use it as per your comfortable. So here you have, again, this is divided into kind of sidebars. Okay, this is a sidebar, and this is a second sidebar, and this is kind of third sidebar. So here, so this similar thing actually. Here you like Jira, you've seen it Jira, right? So here this has options here. So you will not have all this access. You see this dashboard, management. All these things, performance, development, this, you don't have access to this, okay? Here you're having it, okay? Because administrator is, just giving you easy to learn. If you have time to learn, you can learn it, but real time, you will not have this access, okay? Just remember, you are a tester, you won't really have all this access, okay? You're not even this, okay? This might not be in there, okay? You're a tester, so you'll be having very limited access for this, okay? And this is a window for, this is kind of sidebar where you see this all your projects here. So these are the projects, okay? And this gives information about the particular, if you're going into detail, let's say if you're taking this is more detail, you need more detailed information, you will be having more detailed information here. It shows a lot of information like, what is the name and who is the author for it, and what kind of requirement and all those things. So this is kind of divided into three sidebars, okay? So let's go here. Here, so this is you don't even have this access management really. This is for management perspective. What they are trying to do, what it is, so you will not have access. So only thing what more important for as per testing point of view is 4 modules, okay? So requirement module, so this you see here requirement, okay, requirement module. So this you will be having read-only access, okay? That means you're not going to delete anything or remove anything, no, only you will be having read. So what's the requirement? What are you supposed to do with that requirement? Write the test cases, okay? So that's the thing. And the next is test plan module. In this test plan module, right? So what you do in this test plan, you actually write your test cases. Okay, this test plan is different from the test plan document. Okay, don't get confused with this test plan with the test plan document. So they named it here test plan, but it's really nothing to do with test plan document. Okay, this is different and that is different. That's a document prepared by the QA and it's a high-level document. This is module in HPLM. This is the module in HPLM. And what you do in test plan, you write your test cases. And then next you have test lab module. So what you do in test lab, you execute your test cases. So you have this test cases written, right? You need to execute. This is a little bit complex process here. Okay, if you are, if you understand a little bit Rally and this will be a little complex because it is complex. Okay, it is complex, and for me it takes years to understand it. Okay, So I will be surprised, if you don't understand even for the 10 times, because this is complex. Because it's not user friendly. My personal opinion? It's my personal opinion that HPLM is not user friendly. Why? We'll just look into this. Okay, we'll see how you can understand this one. Okay, this is my personal opinion. You might get it. No, it's not required, but it took me for years to understand this. 3 years or something to just get hold of this tool. Okay, so then you have this one, defects module. Okay, now this is the 4 important modules where as a tester you'll be having access to. Okay, so this is the where you will be working on most important. So, and any questions so far? Okay, so let's go to the requirement module, and this is the requirement. You see here there are a lot of requirements. Okay, so you see these are actually the requirements, and you want. So if you want to know, so these are kind of projects, which project it is. Okay, you can take it as project, which project you're working on, what is this? Okay, and what you want to, so if you don't know which project it belongs, you want to check it out with the link, check it out. First try to see if you can find it yourself. The first thing, most important, if you don't know, you have to do your own research. Okay, try to find out by yourself. Okay, if not, try to check with your colleagues. Okay, or colleagues, right? Your friends say this is the project, so you guys are in the same project or different project. You want to try to figure out this. Okay, so you want to check it out with the colleagues, and still you're not able to check it out, and still not able to get it, then you want to check with the lead. Okay, that's how you have to follow. This is, you have to follow this kind of thing if you don't know what to do. Okay, first try to figure it out yourself by going here, try to research. Don't delete anything, but just look at it and see what the project is in the meeting, and they told in the meeting that this belongs to here, and now you have access. You want to try to see yourself. Then when it doesn't, then you want to check with your colleague. Hey, you know what? Trying to see this project. Is this project here, or is it a different thing? Okay, and then if they're not able to help, then you need to check it out with your lead. So that's how you want to do it. Okay. So here, this is the project. So once you get, let's see here. This is project. Okay, good. Now I know my project. Okay, so this is the project, and a GMO online is a requirement here. Okay, so this is the requirement. Okay. Now you can see here, this is, it's not a user story kind of thing, right? The user story says what's the user story, it's a requirement. But here you're not using the user story here because this Agile came later, okay, before this, before it was waterfall. So there was nothing called user story at that time, okay? So now that's the thing, this is called requirement. But user story is actually the requirement, the same thing, different terminology, okay? I hope you get it. Same thing, different terminology, okay? I hope you understand that. So here is requirement, and we have this GMO requirement, and if you see here, this is various modules here. See, right? Various tabs, you can say. It's not exactly modules, it's the tabs. Okay, so various tabs. You can look at it and see. Nothing to do with this tab because you are in requirement section. Remember, you are in requirement section. You really don't have access to this. Even if you have access, you're doing nothing here. What you want to see is what's the information displayed here. Okay, nothing to do. Okay, you're not. Okay, you can view it. There's nothing down here. What's the who opened this and what's exactly this? You will see all this, but it's nothing to do with your work. Okay, just see what's the description here. You want to also check it out, this comment, if there are any comments on this, something like that. But here, what you want to see here is what's the requirement and what you want to do. Here you want to write test cases, but here it's, there's only just one line requirements. So the build time to it might be there. But the thing is, as I told you, there might be a lot more information here. Okay, there's a bunch of information like 3-4 paragraph and saying a lot of things. It's not really necessary for you to understand each and everything in that. Okay, because again, as I told you, there are a lot of people on the team. There's a manager, there's a developer, okay, there's a Java developer, web developer, okay, and there's an architect guy, the guy who is architect, and so a lot of people, project manager, so a lot of information we're going to be putting here, keeping those people of mind, right? So in that case, you might not be able to understand everything. So read that and see if you get it, and then you have to, So that was my question, okay? So see, that's the thing, right? When I asked a question, nobody responded, okay? So I got this message that it got rejected, okay? So I asked you guys a question that did you guys, get an email, okay? So that's the proactiveness, right? Nobody responded to that. So that's how, it's up to you how you want to do, but, because a lot of things got rejected, okay? So that's the reason, I asked the question that did everyone, so nobody responded. Okay, so, okay, see, so that's what, you have to proactive. When I ask the question, you need to say yes, no, I don't know, I don't remember something, right? You have to answer that. So, okay, good. So you didn't get it. I will be sending today. Okay, so I hope Okay, so somebody asked, explain traceability matrix one more time. I didn't explain yet. Okay, that's good. Find out. That's good. No. Okay, so that's what is here. Okay, so this is the traceability matrix. Okay, so we'll go to that. Okay, so I didn't explain yet on that. So I'll be going through this. Okay. Okay, so this is this is how you have to see. Okay, this is the requirement, and you want to see here and go to. You can view. Viewing tab is nothing wrong. You can view these tabs. See here, it's the defects. Okay, there are a lot of defects for this. Okay, a lot of things are happening. And development activities, so developers should be looking here, and you have this. So this is called RTM. So this is called RTM. Okay, RTM means requirement traceability matrix. What does it mean? It means that all the test cases should match at least one requirement. Okay, that means whatever test cases you have written should match the requirement, right? At least one requirement. So this actually means practically it's you're linking it. Okay, that's what it means. You're linking. This we saw in Rally, right? You're linking test case, you're linking your defects, so that's what actually it is. You're linking it. Okay, that means you're linking all your test cases to that requirements, saying that all the test cases should at least match one requirement. Okay, that's the definition. But technically, it's you're linking it. So that why do you link it? Because business analyst or the product owner sees that this test cases is here, that's good, so I can continue with my work. Okay, if there's no test cases now, business analyst gets alarmed. Okay, so what's happening? If there's a good business analyst, then they will approach, hey, what happened is I opened this requirement and you guys didn't write any test cases. If not, you're not always lucky in that, so they might just go, talk to their manager saying that, hey, there's no test cases, and that will be little alarming case, okay? So that's the reason RTM is required, okay? So what is RTM? Requirement traceability matrix. That means all the test case should at least match one requirement. Okay. So we'll do that right now. We'll just link it and see how it looks like. Okay? Okay, so these are the modules. You know, you can just view here. Nothing wrong in viewing, but this is nothing to do in requirement basically, because this is not your module, and you won't have access to do it, because see here it will be disabled like this. You see here disabled. This is disabled for some other reason, but just to explain you that it will be disabled. You cannot open it anything here, okay? Because you're a tester, not a business analyst, okay? Unless you want to go as a business analyst, then access levels are different. Okay, so this is about requirements. Any questions? Yeah, I have to explain the RTM, so I'll show you how this RTM works. Other than that. Okay, so now you know the requirement. Okay, so this is my requirement, and this is what I need to test. Okay, so I want to start writing my test cases. Okay, so let's see here. So let's go to test plan. So test plan is, here where you actually write your test cases. Okay, now you see here, okay, this is pretty huge, and this, you will get confused for sure here, because if you see here, a lot of things are happening and you don't know which project it is and which, whatever it is, so you need to figure it out which project. Definitely there should have been some project here. If there is no project, you have to check it out, check with your lead, check with your colleagues. Okay, and if it is not, then maybe you have to create one for yourself. Just click on this and create, but not that kind of scenarios are rare. But yeah, if there is no, then you have to do it. Okay, and see, once you find out, okay, here, let's say this is already created for me, so I'll just open here, and you want to write your name. Okay, because a lot of people will be using. It's a large project. A lot of people will be using. Everyone will be dumping their own test case into each file, and I mean, it's up to you. If you don't want to organize this, I have no issues with that. But if organizing yourself and creating a folder, and let's say I just create this folder and put my name, so that now I know where my actual test cases belongs to. Okay, where does it actually is there? So that will be helpful for me. Okay, because a lot of people will be doing a lot of things. You see here, random test cases they put here and there. You don't want that, because you will get confused working with 2-3 projects, so that will be tedious. So that's the problem with this actually. This it's a tedious work, labor work. It's too much labor work for the humans. Okay, so here if you now I'll just create a folder for myself, so that I know which folder I have to work. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just click here, and so if you're clicking this, that means it creates a subfolder. Okay, now create here, and I'll just name it as 3. Okay, so this is my folder. Okay, I'll just click here. If you see here, it has come now. So I want to organize this. So what I'll do is just click on refresh option. Great. So now this is just came here, so it's good. Now you can see here. Okay. Now what I'll do is click on this. Okay. So there's nothing here. Okay. Now what you want to do is here you want to create a test case, but here this is empty. Okay. But the problem with HPLM is you cannot create directly. Rally was good, right? Now if you're thinking that Rally was hard, now this will be more harder, because here this is this traditional way of doing. Okay, so they did it, and so now what you want to do is here you want to create a framework first. Before writing test case, you want to create a framework. Click on new test. And guess what? I'll just put the brains. So what we are doing here is we are creating a framework, okay? Framework for what? For writing our test cases. So, how hard to do that, right? And what's the type here? Manual, which is manual or automated, or load runner scenarios, so load runner, okay? Performance and system testing, you can have this option. So here we just create. Okay, so level, we just medium. Priority, we just medium. So this for test case when you're ready for the fill up this. So this was similar to Rally 2, right? If you want to, you can compare it. And it's not reviewed. Creation date, that's today's date. And who is the designer for this test case? So that will be me or you, whoever is writing. Who is the reviewer actually? So your reviewer will be your lead. Okay. And let me just put some random name here. And you want to fill up this information. Okay. So if you are not filling up this red color, you see here. Right. This red color, right? That means these fields are mandatory, and the black color you see here, these are optional fields. Okay. But you have to also fill up this if possible. The most possible you can fill up because that will be going to particular developer or particular project. Okay, you want to fill up as much as possible. Test effort, just put as 10. That means 10 hours here. And description, you need description here. You can put the description test cases for the online. And you can use that, pre-condition, post-condition, the code should be deployed in testing environments, all this what we talked about Rally, right? We can use that too. Okay, so what we actually did was we spent this much of time only creating framework. We really didn't put any test cases here, okay? So this was a framework to write your test cases. Okay, this is the problem in this HPLM. You cannot write your test cases until the framework is not formed. So this is the framework. Okay, what you can do is you can copy this framework from this. You can do that, but you don't want to copy this framework. You just want to copy test cases. Okay? That should be much more good. Okay, so here now. Okay, let's see here. So you have this option module tab, right? See, this is the tabs. Okay, details, the design steps where we are actually writing our test cases. Parameters. Parameters is more for a automation perspective. Okay, so you can use parameters. Attachments. And don't use this attachment or don't use it because there's no reason to use it. Okay, I will show you why, and we'll see. It's very confusing because you will never know where did you put this attachment. Don't use this. There's no reason to use this. But there is there. It's good. You can just view that. Okay. Test configuration, environment coverage. There we'll be doing RTM and link defects. So these are the modules. Okay. So we'll just go here. Test design steps. Okay. Okay, so what I'll do is, since we already know what's the test case, what I'll do is just copy the test case. And most of the time you'll be doing that. Okay, you just copy this and use this option here, copy. Okay, Control C. Click on that. Okay, and go to here. What I'll do is click on paste text. Okay, this is most of the time you'll be doing this. Okay, if not, you can write from scratch, that's also fine. Okay, as I told you, you have to work on positive scenarios, negative scenarios, boundary values, cosmetic issues, and so on. Okay, you have to write these cases for that. Okay, so we have written this test case. Okay, and once you have written this test case, right, you can see here its parameters. It's really for more used for automation. Let's say you're using UFT or Selenium or something like that. In that case, you want to use it. But parameters, okay. And attachments, it's not really required here. Test configurations. We'll see why it is not required, okay? Because it gets a lot more confusing for all of them, okay? Because this attachment is completely different from this attachment, okay? Right. So that's the reason I'm telling you not to use it. So this attachment is completely different from this attachment, okay? These parameters are completely different from these parameters, okay? So let's not worry about this, okay? So, and I think there's no reason to use attachment in test plan document. It is, unless you have this test script from the UFT, then only you can want to use it. Otherwise, test plan you don't want to use it. Okay, then test configurations. And let's go to requirement coverage. Okay, so here's the thing: requirement coverage. Okay, RTM, requirement traceability matrix. So what do you exactly? All these test cases, we have written test cases, right? See here, test cases is covered by at least one requirement. So what I'll do is select this requirement. This is the requirement. So what happens when I click here is you are actually navigating this. This pop-up window shows up, right? This pop-up window shows up right here. This is actually you are navigating the requirements that we are actually here we have used, right? This is the thing. So this is the thing is the same thing as this, okay? We are the only thing we are not going to that module. This is a pop-up window, and we are trying to navigate here so to link it, okay? Okay. Now, now I want to see here where is exactly my requirement. Okay, good. Now I have found my requirement. Okay, this is my requirement. Okay, this is my requirement. Gym online. Okay, so what I'll do is either I can drag and drop or use this option. Okay, add coverage without children. Okay, that's good. I'll just drag and drop here. That means just put it here and okay. So let's put it at figure it out later. Click here. And what I'll do is just move that requirement. So okay, good. So this is RTM. Okay, so this is RTM. So what is RTM? Is now whatever the test case aside is now linked with that requirement. If I click here, we go to the requirement section. Okay. So what we exactly did was we linked this test case to that requirement so that now business analyst is good, so looking okay. Now this has test cases, so nothing to worry. Okay, because business analyst also sees there. Okay, so what's happening? Why this project is not moving forward? Okay, they will be also looking at it. So that's the reason this is required. And then what are the linked effects? Now we don't want to use this linked effect again. There's no reason to have this. Okay, because this linked effects is completely different from this linked effects. Okay. Don't use it. It's not, I mean, it's up to you, but it's and that's also in test plan not really required. Okay, because it just increases confusion. Okay, and in HPLM actually is more of a confusion. Okay, so and then we have dependencies. Nothing to use much here, and the history. See who is doing what, who checked in, who checked out, and all those things. Information will be here. Okay, and now what the thing here is, if you see here, this has some, typical process that this is checked out. If you see this open lock icon, the lock is open. That means this is checked out. Okay, you want to check in by this, by clicking this. Okay, you want to check in it because if this is not check in, you cannot use this escape. Okay, you will have problem in later stage. So you want to check in. Okay, so let's check it. So I know my test ID, that is 1468. So I'll just go here, click on check in. And 1468, so this is my test case and I'll just check in. Okay, and you can keep versions because if you want to edit your test case, you want to check it out, edit your test case, then check in. So that's how it happens. Okay, just keep these versions and what you are doing with this. Okay, it's a lot of things. So here you see this version number will be increased by 1. So if you have any, comments, you can use it or just do it. And So we have successfully checked out. Let's see this lock icon. It's gone. Okay. Here, there's no more this lock icon. Now that means your test case is checked in. You're good. Okay. So you can proceed further with the next process. Okay. Any questions so far? So this is all about test plan. So you'll be only writing test cases in the test plan. Okay. Okay. So now, since we know about test plan, okay, we'll go to test lab module. Okay. What you do in test lab module? You execute your test cases. Okay. Now this problem with HPLM is, remember we created a folder there and put a lot of scripts. Now there's nothing here. You have to create from scratch. Okay. Or you have to create from. Okay, you have to create everything from scratch here. Okay, again you have to create a folder in that particular project name. Again you have to create your name, the reason because you want to use your test set. Okay, it's a lot of things. So you want to do this redundant. Okay, you want to do this second time again. Now let's say I've created this. So this is my project. Okay, there's other projects too, right? See here, there's a lot of projects. So, here. And so this is my project, okay? And, then you know what? Let's create a test set. Okay, here's this kind of test set, similar way what we did for. So why we are creating test set here? Because it's a framework. We cannot do anything. So if we are creating this, that is called empty. See, there's nothing folder, no nothing. So you have to create a framework for every new test case out. Okay, so here you want to create again the set. Okay, and okay, so here let's create this. Click on that folder. So again, you have to do this. Okay, you have to, if there is no project name, then you have to create the project name. Under that, you have to create your name. Make sure you are using all your in your name, because a lot of people will be doing a lot of work outside, inside. A lot of things are happening, right? So you will get confused when you're working 2 to 3 projects. Okay, you don't want to happen that. So that's the reason you want to create your name, and so create here. So let's see, use this, and so click on this folder and click on new test set. Okay, because you want to create framework, right? Okay, so I'll use this, and this is mine. Okay, and okay, you want to fill up all this information again. So this is, you see, right? This is a little bit tedious work to do. And if you use Rally, this would be much more harder, because this is not user friendly. If you understand what I mean, so you have to fill up this information again, second time. So that's the reason I find, it's my personal opinion, that I find this tool in Agile not good, right? Lot of labor work to do. Okay. So now if you have a baseline, you can use it, this baseline changed by, if you know, okay, so it will be me. When somebody change it, change that, this is today's date. Close date, we know this close date, 24th, created by, it's me. So we bring this. Created at, no, it has to be So environment. So again, right? Which environment you have this dev environment, test environment, production environment, or there can be any other environments. Okay. So let's use and open date. It's 2. And who is the responsible person? Now, this is most of the time your test cases. You will be responsible for this. And what's the status? You can and test bill. If you know this test bill, you can use it and click on. Okay, so this information is important. Okay, this shows which project it goes and which respective developer will be working on. So this is important. Click on okay. And this is shows up last year. So what I'll do is refresh it. Okay. So here it shows up here, right? Now again, just this module show up. That's good. This tab show up in that particular. So what we did was framework. Okay, this framework for our test cases. But if you see here, there is no test cases, right? So there's no test cases. All the test cases are actually in test plan. Okay, and there's no reason to use these 2 modules, but that's how they did. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to pull that test plan and dump it here. Okay, now for that, what you will be doing here is click on select test, and okay, now if you see here, we are trying to navigate here. Navigate what? Navigating test plan. The same thing what we did here. So you remember we created test cases, right? That's what we are pulling up here. So that's so that we can drag and drop. Okay. Okay. So here, go to this and find out which. Okay, good. So I found my project, and then to see which project, and this was it. And what I'll do is I'll drag and drop. Either you can use this option, add to test set, or just put it here. So I'll just put it here. Okay, so now my test case is here. Okay. I mean, they could have made like something like creating the test plan and executing the same place. If you compare, let's compare. Okay, so let's compare with Rally, what we have here. So they could have done much more simpler way, or they could have at least made user friendly in builds, actually new versions, but still they didn't do that. Let's see here. So, if you see here, right, this is good because the test case where you're writing here, you're executing there itself, right? There's no reason to pull up and pull down, right? I mean, this is user friendly, just you're using this, click this button and just execute your test case, but suddenly this is not the case here. You want to pull up for everything, what you have done in test plan, you have to pull up here, so it's kind of clever work, okay? So that's the only difference I wanted to show you. So, okay, so once you've done this, if there has to be actually this, this step supposed to show up here. It's not showing up. Okay, some issue from my point of view. So, okay, so now what you want to do is we have. We have this test set, okay? Now you can drag and drop any number of sets. Okay, let's say you're doing for Firefox, you're doing for Chrome, you're doing for Safari, you're doing for, etc. So you can drag and drop, okay? Just use this, pull up here, drag and drop here. Okay. Okay, just like that. So you have multiple sets to run, you can do that. So you will just delete this. Okay, so you can have the option here. Now, once what you do is you run here, okay, just you have to run it, right? Execute your test case. So that's what we're doing here. Just click on run. Now, okay, which is this one. Then click on begin run again. Okay. Now here you see this. Now, normally you have to do this parallelly. That means what does this step say, and what you are trying to do. So here is saying here, right? Expected is homepage of GM Online. So what we are doing here is copy this. So that's what we'll be doing. I'm using this Chrome for now, but it's for Safari, so you have to do Safari. So here, homepage of GM Online is displayed whenever I'm using this. So what I do here is what is the actual result? Homepage of displayed as per the requirement. Okay, and click on fast. That means my step is fast. And click on enter GM Online button. So click on enter GM Online button. So online catalog page is displayed. Take wait. Okay, online catalog page is displayed as per the requirement. Click on fast. Okay, so the next step is page is navigated to place order. Page is navigated to place order. As per the requirement. And click on pass. So you have to do parallelly. Normally, so if you can do this parallelly, or if you're really experienced, now let's say if you're in 3-4 years experience, what you can do is you don't worry about this case. You want to see, your point is to open the defect, right? So once you get experience and you want to open defect, yes, I want to open defect. This should contain some or other defects. Then first you can work on this, see if you find any defects, and then you can execute your test case and failure. Your test case and then you just fail. Then you found some issues here. Okay. But to start with, you want to use this parallelly. Use this test case and follow the instructions. You can do that. And billing, page is related to billing information. Okay, this is the requirements. And click on pass. Now let's say this is failed. Okay, so some reason we'll take that shipping and handling fee. Okay, here issue, and we'll just put it as shipping and handling fee is not displaying appropriately. So let's say we coordinated with our lead, and the lead said yes, this is an issue, and you want to open the issue. And that's the reason you failed this test case. Once you do this, you click on this fail setting. Okay, click on this. So now even one step is failed, that means whole test case is failed. Okay, so let's see what happens. Click on this, stop and run. Okay, too much labor work, so you want to now see here. Okay, so now if you see here, now this is good. Now it's displaying here all this. Okay, so this is good. Now it's showing up here. Status showed failed. That's good. We failed it. Okay, and so make sure when you are executing it, never change your status right from here. Okay, although you have this option, you don't want to do this. Why? Because you will be caught red-handedly. Because here it shows how much time you took for executing this test case. If you're using this option, no, my lead will not recognize. I'll just click here and pause, and this will pass. You have caught red-handedly there because all this time will be, shows a 1 second, 1 second. Okay. So here this is what we need. Okay, execution time will be showing us just it takes some time, right? 1 minute, 2 minutes. Okay, for each navigation of page. But if you are using this option and that is changing it, your lead, will right or will catch you that how can you able to navigate the whole page in 1 second, and that's not really testing. You didn't do this. Uh, you don't want to use this option unless it is specified or it is from your boss or from your lead saying that change the status. Otherwise, you don't want to use this. Okay, just because you want to pass your test case, you want to go through the whole process actually. Okay. So that's pretty much about this desk lab. Any questions? So this will be much more harder for you because, but then if if you look relevant, that would be much more easier for you. Maybe you can tackle that better. But this is harder because a lot of shifting upward, right? Pulling the test cases here, dumping there, and again creating a new set and all those things. So this will be really hard. But you get used to it once you use this. Okay, so we have failed this. So what you want to do is you want to open a defect. Click on defects module. Okay, and so here there was an interview question, right? So how many ways you can open a defect in HPLM? How many ways you can open a defect in HPLM? Anyone? It was asked to me, and I said like n number of ways. How do you want to open it? It's up to you. But I said how? Now he said, okay, you can open defect here. That's good. You can open the defect section. That's fine. But then again, I said, we can open defects from here. Just add a new link a defect. Okay, open defects here. Then again, I said, open defects from here. Let's open here. Now again, you open defects from test plan too. Oh, that's interesting. So, you open defects from here. So, and again, you open defects from here. So, now this is not really required. All this you have to open the 2 ways. Okay, there's 2 important ways. That is from here one, and the other is from when you're executing your test case. Okay, that would be more appropriate to say. Okay, when you're executing your test case, right? Let's say let's show it here. So you see here again, this is an option not really here. When you begin this run, they will be having an option. Okay, so two ways. Okay, this is unnecessary. I mean, they have put it, but that does no sense for anyone. Okay, so there's only 2 ways. So for the defects and just this lab whenever you're running. Okay. So here, I want to click on this new defect, and we just open this. Just put it here, shipping, and we'll just use the same. So I don't use this one. Okay, so here I'm using it, but if you want to catch attention of your developer, and this is a production issue or critical issue, you want to use this and put critical issue. Okay, production issue. If you're using something like that, you want to use. Otherwise, really not required. This is it's my personal. I don't have to use it. Okay, and this is important. um, no, small statement of what exactly the defect is and which project does it belongs to. Okay, so that gives a idea what's happening here. Okay. Now, owner of the defect is developers who want to assign it. Browser, which exactly the browser here. So we'll just not fill that for now. And category, which category does it belong to? This defect. Detected date, that is February. No, this is not February. So let's go to Chrome. Okay. And estimated fixed time. It's supposed to fix. No, this is by developer because you're not fixing it, right? You're not developer. You're the, And product area, of course, this is important. Which product area does it belongs to? Priority, just put it medium. What project does it belongs to? Want to put it there. Is it regression? No. And is it reproducible? So this is very important here. If it's not reproducible, you just put is no. But if it's reproducible, is why. Okay. So the reason what is reproducible and non-reproducible defect, right? Reproducible defect is like anyone can reproduce, right? Just like shipping and handling. If you put that information, shipping and handling shows that. But there are defects which doesn't show up to everyone. Okay, so there was, one of the testing what I was doing. So there was non-reproducible defect. That means it was only happening to me. Yeah, that's not to me, but it was actually. I go to navigate to particular state, particular flow, and I set the defect, but developer was not able to reproduce it. So that's called non-reproducible defect. Okay. Now, if you are opening such kind of thing, you better have a meeting with the developer saying that it's happening to you, because developer will outright reject it and say it's working fine in my system, right? So they don't care. It's working fine in my system. There's no defect. But if it is non-reproducible, you better have the meetings. Have the developer face to face saying that, hey, you know what? So this is what is showing up. It's not always showing up, but this is how it's showing up. Okay, that happened to me, and it was like my defect got rejected for 3 times, and my boss says, what's happening? Why this is getting rejected? Why your guys are doing ping pong here? Okay, why you're not moving forward? So so then I have to show up to everyone. So this is the case, and developer understood. Okay, so we fix that. Okay, so that happens. So that's the reason you have this option reproducible or non-reproducible. Okay, and severity you just put is medium. Subject. Fixed time, so it should be filled by this developer. Rules version defect. And if you know the cycle, which cycle does it belong to, you can use this. Function list. Let's use this function list. Okay. Detected in environment. So again, this is which environment? Testing, developer, or production. And the target cycle. Okay. And once you do this, click on submit. Oops. So we actually, we didn't put you have to remember this, have to put a screenshot, remember? We didn't do anything, so we'll just edit here, okay? Now if you see here, here you want to, see this is the defect ID 302 and status. You see this new status again. When you open defect, you have to put in open status, not in new status. If you're putting in new status, the email will not go to developer. You see this option, you can send this email to developer too. Okay, but that's not going to developer because you put it new and just don't want to forget it. Put it open. Okay. Okay. For my part, we just put as subject and okay, good. Now we'll just open this and Okay, so here, put the description here, put the description. Okay, for more information, screenshot, screenshot is must. Okay, so I mean it is to start with. Okay, so you want to put the screenshot. Once you get experience, maybe you don't want to use it, or it's up to you. But you know, I'll be still using it. Screenshot is important. Okay, so here just you know, use this. Okay. So, and you, once you use this, you want to highlight it where exactly the issue is. I want to highlight this one. And I can select the information required. And just use the same thing you have done, right? So, okay. So, okay. What you want to do is just here and attach. You know, you see this insert image. Click on that and upload image. So here you have this option to, okay, here you have this option to minimize the size, okay. So what I'll do is, I'll just put it 50%. You know, this looks good. Just add it. Okay, good. Now I can see here the screenshot and what's happening here. And I'll click on OK. Okay. Now we have successfully created defect. Any question so far in this? Okay, so now what happens? We have created defect, right? But we didn't link it. That means you might use many defects, people test cases. You're linking with different, you know. So you don't know which defect did you create for which test case, right? So in that case, you want to link it. Okay. Now to link it, you want to go. So this is 302. So I'll just go by test lab module and. Guess what? I'll just use this option. Okay, I'm not using any other things. I'm not using this one. Just use this option. Okay, that's what you have to use. And go to the link defects. Click on there, and or to link existing defect, and click on GNAT 2 and link it. Okay. Now this means this is linked, and click on OK. So once you link it, a chain icon will be showing up. Okay. So here we go, chain icon. Okay, you're not able to see it. Let's see here. You want to refresh it. Okay. Okay, good. Now you can see it, right? This icon. Okay. Now the chain icon means this test case is linked with some defect. Okay. Want to go back? The chain icon will be here again. So here the chain icon. Okay, this fancy chain icon. So want to refresh it. Okay. Create from chain icon. And this click art shows that means there is an attachment. Okay, that's what it shows by attachment. And even if you have to attach, so you have to attach, right? Documents. Remember we attach rally result. You want to do that same thing to here too. Okay, you want to attach your work. So how do you? So don't use this attachment. Don't use this attachment. Okay, all this is different. Don't use test plan attachment. Use this one. Click on this and click on attachment and attach it here. Okay, that means if you are attaching here, that means all these documents belongs to this particular test set. Okay, if you are attaching here, you don't know which test case does it belongs to. Is it Chrome browser? It is a Safari browser. Is it for? We don't know. So you don't want to use these options. It is really not required, but so they use this. Okay, so you want to use this attachment here and update it. So you can do that. So these are if you want to flag it, you can flag it. You want to follow up, and if you want to see that follow up with lead. And click on so that this shows up. If you click here, okay, this is follow up after follow up. Those kind of options for you to see this. Okay, so that's pretty much. So we just close this. So you have this. If you go here in the defect section, you have this linked entities. That means you can not just you can link other defects too. Okay. So now what happens is sometimes you might create duplicate defect, or developer will reject your defect. Okay, the developer will reject saying that this defect is already exists, but that team was taken by somebody else. That let's say UID team took the defect, but okay, as your testing point of view, your defect is different. Now developer says no because that is a dependent defect. That means if that defect gets fixed, this defects get fixed too. Okay, in that case, you want to link with other defects too. It means which defect is that. So that's the reason your developer rejects this. Says no, this is not a defect, and you're working on it. Okay, so that's the reason you can link here to various defects. See here, you have this option to link in here too. So you can do here in the defect section. Okay, so we have this comments too. You can write these comments. Here you can use these comments. Use it. I'll just use. Don't have to use blue color something. It's up to you. So that's how you can use it. Any questions? Okay, that's a good question. So how do you access to ALM? So ALM, you need VPN, okay, and you need to check with Tagore. So if you want access for ALM, you need to check with the Tagore and get the VPN access. But if you want Rally, okay, access to Rally, you really don't need anything. So send you an email, right? So that okay, here I have actually given you the access, and let's see here. Where is it? Let's see your homework. So this is the access here for your Rally. Okay, I've given you the password, and you can use it. Okay, so any more questions? So my tools won't require only this HPLM will be you'll be requiring from Tagore. So you want to check it out from Tagore. Okay, but Rally um, you know, and other tools, Jira, those really don't require any VPN access. And yeah, I mean, let me know if you need any other access for Unix and for, I also have this for SQL. If you want to practice SQL, I can give you access so that you don't have to depend on VPN. So sometimes VPN works, sometimes doesn't. So, uh, so that's good. Need access to Unix and SQL, okay. So, okay. So what I'll do is, let me see. Okay, let me check here quickly. Is my Unix working or not? Um, Okay, okay, so that's good. No, so I I may try to help you out here. So please check it. Let me quickly check if this is working for me. We go from there. Okay. So I'll not be giving to everyone. Okay, because I guess everyone is the only people who require it access. I'll be giving them. So let me check. Is this working? So it's good. So I have access to this with another app, so you can use most of this. Okay, like you use various commands. What is this? Use directory folders. So you can access the CMX space. And for SQL 2, I have this. So we just okay. Only the people who want access send me an email. I'm not giving to everyone. Okay, because I'm not sure if everyone requires it not. So send an email to me. So because I need to prepare, I guess I need to prepare the document for this because we need to install this party. At least there should be a party software so that you will able to communicate. So the reason you have this party is to communicate with the server, right? Unix server. So, okay, any more questions? Okay, you guys have one more class, right? So you'll be late here. So send me an email or or we can just have a phone call and see and see and get your access for the next 2 weeks. And as a matter of fact, can also give you access for SQL too, but that's MySQL. That's different from Oracle SQL, and the functions actually you need to make up with functions. Doesn't work in MySQL, so I want to see that how it works to do, but you can use that too. So it's an option. But all those works like this. Queries, subqueries, inline view, nested subqueries, all those things work for MySQL, but the functions have to be careful when using a different database. Okay, so if no questions, can we close this class for today? No. Okay. Okay. Thank you guys. Yeah, that's what, right? Yeah. So that's what I said, right? This didn't get delivered, so I'll be sending it. Sure. My phone number is okay. Somebody asked phone number, right? My phone number is right here in the email. If you're getting my emails, okay. So this is my phone number. Oh, oops. Okay, and you can call me or if I'm not available. So sometimes I'm not available and this, right? You want to email me and see. Okay. Okay. Thank you guys. Okay, any more questions? Actually, any more questions? Some people have any questions? Yeah. Okay. So okay. Thank you guys.